very young pigeons, 3 months old. So, and an older pigeon you would use for a different dish, but for a pastilla it has to be very tender. So you ask how many pigeons you want, and then they do it, and then you take your pigeon. So for a big pastilla like the one I'm going to make, I'll probably need half a dozen pigeons.
While that's underway, I duck around the corner for another key pastilla ingredient, warka pastry. You could make this fragile steamed pastry at home, but I have to say that, like me, most Moroccan cooks are more than happy to purchase their warka from specialist makers.
These are my pigeons. The packet is warm. I'm now going to pay for them in more ways than one. Merci, merci, merci. Au revoir.
After the break, we're ensconced at a gorgeous Moroccan-French country retreat where my gastro-nomads roll up their sleeves to transform our dear little pigeons into a fabulous pastilla. We escape the hubbub of Marrakesh along dusty palm-fringed highways to the surrounding countryside. It's here I'll gather my culinary accomplices for the week. Like thousands before them, my gastro-nomads have come to Morocco for good food and good times. I hope they're prepared for what I have in store. I call it a week-long dinner party. I welcome them to a haven of peace set in green fields with views of the magnificent Atlas Mountains. Here they can recover from their travel and adapt to Moroccan time. Dar Tasmayoun is the name of Frenchwoman Florence Verlet's home and guest house. With its 2 towers and 4 courtyards, this rammed earth house is as serene a country retreat as we could wish for. It's natural and rustic and luxurious. And the interiors are in constant reverence to the beauty of Moroccan culture. Our host, Florence, has an impeccable sense for what's just right. And she sourced some lovely old pieces from Marrakesh and the surrounding countryside, along with lots of interesting odds and ends from which she creates original sculptural pieces. The story of Dar Tasmayoun is an inspiring one. Florence was a speech therapist in her native Paris, and she'd been to Morocco on vacation. Quite naturally, she says, it got under her skin. She designed and built the house herself with the help of local workers. She'd never done anything like this. It was made by hand with almost no tools, and she was quite the sensation locally.
C'est un petit peu difficile de répondre parce qu'on ne sait pas forcément ce qu'ils pensent au fond. Je sais quand même qu'ils étaient très étonnés et surtout étonnés que je construise une maison en terre. Parce que pour eux, la construction en terre ne leur convient plus du tout. Ils veulent vraiment construire en ciment. Donc ils n'ont pas compris pourquoi je faisais une maison en terre.
This truly is the perfect place to start our culinary adventure. And I have an accomplice when it comes to the tutoring. Radija is Dar Tasmayoun's resident cook. She's a local Berber woman, absolutely gorgeous, gentle and humble. And while she doesn't speak English or French, she's the mistress of all manner of traditional dishes.
Absolutely no smell.
And one of the more formal and elaborate of Moroccan dishes is the pastilla, usually reserved for weddings, but today bound for a picnic lunch. It contains a classic combination of sweet and savory flavors, including saffron, lemons, and ground almonds. If you recall the pigeon and the warka pastry I bought at the Mela in Marrakesh, here's where it's all going to come together.
every woman has a different way of doing it in their home. She wants you to pull the skin off and take out all the food that it's been eating. And once the pigeons have all been prepared and washed, we'll then cook them in a variety of spices for probably only about half an hour, and then we pull all the flesh out, throw away the bones, and add the other ingredients to the cooked pigeon flesh to make the pastilla. Okay, how many more have we got?
Our birds are gutted and placed into Rhodesia's ancient Berber cooking vessel, the pressure cooker, which quite frankly scares me. In goes oil, garlic and chopped onions.
They never saute anything, they just throw it all in. So we've got some turmeric, cinnamon. Rhodesia absolutely insisted that I use her ground cinnamon. We've got saffron, a little bit of salt, sea salt.
Now, she may have the face and demeanour of an angel, but Rhodesia, like myself, can be stubborn in the kindest possible way.
See, you never cook in another Moroccan's kitchen. No.
What quickly ensues is a quiet battle over the best way to cook our pastilla. Still, I demur. Rhodesia is, after all, Moroccan, and this is her kitchen. But I've been cooking Moroccan food for years, and I do find it hard to let go.
Right, the pigeon's now cooked. Rhodesia and I had a huge fight as to whether that was true or not. And because we almost burnt it. And now we're just pulling all the flesh off to put into our pie. So it's enough. So that's got a little bit more in it.
Overlapped sheets of warka pastry form the bed of the pie. And what's left in the bottom of the pan is a saucy reduction. Eggs and lemon juice are added and then scrambled. It smells sensational. Then the egg mixture's topped with a layer of ground almonds.
Go on. Just a little bit. What you do next is you put icing sugar on, because Moroccans love putting sweet with savoury, and I'm going to try and control the amount of sugar that goes on. And this is cinnamon. Yeah.
Our creation is then lovingly wrapped up and sealed with melted butter.
And you tuck it under. That's the important thing. It's like a round, self-enclosed pie. I think it will be fantastic.
Coming up, my group devours the pigeon pastilla at a picnic in the countryside near Aituria. And back in my own kitchen, I demonstrate the scrumptious dessert version of sweet pastilla.